In the last month, I've done over 30 hours of VOD reviews for Deadlock, and I'm going to give away everything I taught for free. So even if you're a brand new player or a seasoned vet, I guarantee you'll learn something new from this episode of Shotty's Yap Session. And if you guys are new here, this is a series where I yap about a topic and you turn me on in the background while you do something else. Or if you really want to, you can watch the mid-gameplay. Let's get right into it. Now, just so we have some structure to this, the video is going to be set up in character and game basics. Then we're going to talk about the phases of the game like laning, mid-game, objectives, late game, and we'll even talk about some characters you can use if you want to climb a little bit easier than others, and some more advanced tips as we go on. Now first, character and game basics. With videos like this, a lot of people get kind of overwhelmed, right? They hear maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes of a video, and then they have so much information, and then they go play the game and they try to apply every drop of it all at once. And then they say, I didn't improve, or, oh, well, the video sucked, or this or that. And it happens, right? But the problem is a lot of people try to focus on too many things at once. When I first started playing this game, I started, and in about a month, I think it was a month and a half, I hit Ascendant 1 from being completely terrible at the game. And the only reason why I think I was able to do that was in the first week, I learned most of the skills of the game because every single day I chose one topic. One day was the movement day. One day was the building day. One day was this. One day was that. Make sure with videos like this and just in general when you're improving at games, take it one step at a time. Because if you try to do all of them, you're never going to improve. So just have one focus per day. Now, besides that, we're going to start in the settings. If I were you, everyone should go into their settings and they should turn every single item and ability to quick cast. All you have to do is type quick cast or something like that inside the settings menu and it'll pop up. There are much more specific videos on it. I'm pretty sure you can just Google it too. But all you should do, if you learn nothing from this, set every single item and ability to quick cast. Because with quick cast, you can hold down the button to see where it goes, or you can tap it for it to cast instantly, which makes it so there's not that extra wait time between you click the ability, then you click again for it to throw. And it just saves you a lot of time and it makes your movements and your ability usage a lot more fluid compared to with it off. You know, actually, one thing I thought about while I was recording this, bro, and this needs to be told to everyone. You need to share this to your friends, tell everybody. Please, bro, stop meleeing people who have everything to gain. You have no idea how many times I have won fights and won games and this and that from people meleeing me when they shouldn't have. In a few seconds or minutes or something in this video, you should see a clip of me playing Haze yesterday. Or is it Haze? I don't remember who I was playing. No, I killed a Haze yesterday. And I was playing, and this Abrams and Haze rushed me, and I'm playing like the AC unit, hiding around it, waiting for them to push me. And I see Haze jump up, getting ready to start a punch, and I parry and killed both of them for free. Please stop meleeing people who are low health and you could have killed by just shooting, because it's just giving them a free advantage. Everyone in this game will desperation parry. And if you're the one who melees, it's over. You just gave them a free win that you could have just 2 more bullets, maybe 3 more bullets, and they die. Instead, you melee and throw. You can weave in light melees when you're fighting someone and all that, but don't just start spamming light melee when someone's one shot. And actually, that's a good point. In this game, you can parry and melee, right? When you parry, people can kill you or just melee you right after, especially if you don't have enough stamina to get away. What I like to do is, and you'll see it a lot of high level players do it too, you try to dash, air dash, or just regular dash and parry while running away from them. So it's like a drive-by parry. The reason why you want to do this is, one, a lot of people will try to weave in light melees when you go past them, when you're close enough. And two, if you miss the parry, if they didn't actually melee and you don't parry them, you're fine. Because that momentum from the dash you did will get you usually far enough where they can't heavy melee you right away unless they start dumping stamina. So try not to just stand there and parry. A lot of people do it. You don't want to just stand there and parry most of the time. And another thing is playing every character. When I first started, I think another big thing for me, besides just focusing on one thing a day, was I played every single hero. I still play every hero. I like a lot of different heroes. It's just like when I used to play Smite. I used to play Smite a little bit, and I couldn't stick to one character. If you know, well, I said a little bit, but if you know Smite, there's mastery in that game. You can play a character for X amount of time, and you get 50 souls or 50 worshippers, and you get mastery on them. Which, by the way, if Yoshi, you watch this or anyone, please add some sort of mastery to the game. Look at how Smite does it. I don't care if it's just free skins. I don't care. Please give me something to grind. Because Smite, the reason why I did it so much and loved it so much was I would get an emblem for every 10 characters I mastered. And I played Smite and I had every single god in the game mastered. Every single one was mastery 1 at least. So I have the emblem for like 120 or something. But, which is like maybe 3 games on every single character, if not more, if I didn't do double XP weekends. But when I did did those, every single time I did that, I learned something new usually. Because let's say this character did this or that character did this. Like, for example, playing Bebop. Before gun Bebop became a thing as much, when I first started playing Bebop, I would hook someone in and I just get murdered, right? Because they would just run me down. So then when I switched to different characters, when a Bebop hooked me in, I would just run him down. And then it was usually a free kill, especially if he didn't use his uppercut properly. He won't be able to uppercut me away from him. And I just glue myself to him and kill him for free. But you wouldn't learn that until you play the character. So you should play every single character at least a few times so you understand what they're good at, what they're bad at. Obviously, it could be a skill issue too. You might just be bad at doing certain things on that character. But a lot of the general issues with the character will still be seen if you just play 2 games with them. You know what I mean? So try to play at least a few games on every single character. Even if it's Street Brawl. So you don't want to hurt your rank, you don't want to throw, just play Street Brawl. You still learn the general idea of your character. You won't learn rotations and more nuanced fighting, but you still learn the basics. And now let's get into lane phase. One of the most important things in laning phase is the wave. A lot of people don't realize that they're fighting too much, or they're worried about the wrong things, or just in general, they're giving away free advantages that they could have because they don't kill the wave first, or maybe they kill the healing minion too early, so they don't have anything to heal off of, or a lot of different things. So first, kill the wave. Most of your fights, most of everything, you should kill the wave first, especially first wave, because if you don't, you're just going to take a lot of free damage from it. And it gives the enemy an opportunity to try to kill you or try to push you off of the wave so that they can zone you and you don't get any of the souls from it. So make sure you're always confirming your souls and trying to deny theirs. And do not, please, oh my gosh. I was doing VOD reviews the other day. I actually have to do some later today. But I was doing a VOD review and I just kept watching this person kill a minion and then reload. It's like, bro, please confirm the soul. The good thing was it was like an emissary game or something, so it didn't matter, right? They didn't deny the soul, but it's the principle. Please confirm the soul. That's 40% of the soul of the minion. The other 60% is on the floor, the little orbs that you see drop when you kill a minion. So if you don't shoot the soul and they get it, that's minus 40% for you over and over and over again, and just creates a free loss in lane for no good reason. You know what I mean? Now, I also mentioned healing minion. Healing minion can be the big difference between winning and losing every single fight in lane. If you just kill a healing minion, I think it's like 15% of your missing health and some base HP. So pretty much you gain 25% HP by just killing it, and that gets split up depending on how many people are near you. So if you're in lane with 2 people, you can kill it and you guys both get, what, 12.5%? Something along those lines, which is pretty nice, right? So imagine if you're solo lane and they're trying to dive you in tower. If you ignore them and kill the healing minion while they're diving you, you can heal up 25% of your health and then maybe even give yourself an advantage fighting them because you got the healing minion. The healing minion also helps with resetting. I'll notice a lot of people in this game will, especially below Archon, will take zipline back to spawn so many times. And not just for healing. Healing is one of them, but for also rotations and stuff. Unless you're going across the map, 9 times out of 10, and obviously even if you are going across the map, if your movement's insane, like you play Mina or something, you still can do it. But unless you're going across the map, ziplining back to spawn is much slower than just taking jump pads. So please, everybody, hit the settings button when you load up into the game, hit Explore NYC, and please go Explore NYC. Or not settings button, but that's a mod, I forgot. The play button area, and then hit Explore NYC, please. And just walk around, learn the jump pads, learn the wall jumps, learn how to air strafe a little bit, and just learn the basics of the map. Because killing 2 waves basically gets you full health. So you don't ever really need to back for HP. If you go to your side of the map and go to the shop, you don't ever need to go back to spawn to buy. And if you're in either side lane, going mid lane, you never need to zip line because jump pads are just faster, or climbing on rooftops. And when you do those rotations, you get free souls because every rotation you do, you should be grabbing a few boxes no matter what. Unless obviously everyone grabbed them, but if you're not above Phantom, nobody's grabbing boxes. So just make sure you start doing rotations for roof boxes, for everything, because there's so much stuff on the map that no one grabs, and it really doesn't take much time off of your rotation, so there's no point not to do it. Now, let's say you're playing wave and you make every single mistake in the book. You don't kill the wave, or you take bad trades or whatever. The good thing is, depending on who your duo partner is, so let's say you're laning with someone and you're able to talk to them. You're actually in call with them or something. If you die early on, your timers are much shorter than, let's say, after the 20-minute mark. So if you want to make mistakes, if you want to do dumb plays, if you want to limit test, if you want to do anything stupid, the time to do it is before 10 minutes, before 15 minutes. Just do everything dumb dumb early on. And if you do something dumb early on and you get killed or whatever, as long as whoever you're laning with doesn't kill the wave, if obviously possible, because sometimes they can't not kill it. But if they don't kill the wave, you almost miss nothing, right? Maybe you'll get set behind like 3 boxes worth of minions. So then you just go run some boxes and then you're fine. And speaking of running boxes, every single 30 seconds, the wave spawns. So what you want to do is sync up your gameplay with, okay, it's 1:30 in the timer. Let me go kill the wave. Let me go back now and let me go do something. You always want to be doing something in this game. One pitfall a lot of people suffer from is not being active enough on the map. I actually was doing this, honestly, recently. Before I took my break and I started playing the new Diablo update, I would always play Viper and I was having fun on Viper, but the problem was, and Wraith 2 and a few other carry characters, but I'd play on them and I would be able to be part of a lot more fights, but instead I would sit there and farm bot a lot of the games. And yeah, I'd come out with 30k farm or something, 40k farm, and just usually be pretty strong. But the problem was, for every soul I got, the enemy team got triple because they were constantly fighting my teammates. And a lot of people don't realize souls that you get aren't the only souls that matters. It's also the souls that you deny. Because let's say invading the enemy's camps, you steal souls from them, which means they're much more valuable than your souls. On top of that, if you constantly kill someone's teammates, they don't get souls, they don't get farm, and that's basically -1 player on the enemy team for the rest of the game if you keep them dead. So a lot of people don't realize that you might farm 1 soul, right? But the enemy team will get souls and kill your teammate and invade your jungle. So they get triple the souls, especially compared to as a team versus 1 person. So the whole enemy team might be 25k farm and you might be 30, but all your teammates are 18k, which means there's no chance you guys win. It doesn't matter. You'll hear a lot of people on Deadlock and all that, a lot of coaches and stuff say macro, 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 or farm, or if you're hyper carry, just kind of farm up and do this and do that. And I used to do it too, and I used to say it, and I used to believe it. But the more you play in matchmaking, the more you play with randoms, the more you realize you have to really be active. You have to be the deciding factor, because these people do not know what they're doing. They're playing Tetris, okay? They're not playing Deadlock. So you need to be going around babysitting, because the drifter on your team that's 0-7 is going to be 0-15 by the end of the game, because he's going to keep fighting people as if, no, they killed me 17 times, the 18th for sure. And you're just never going to win like that. It's just going to be constantly, you're down 1 teammate. But let's say you go help the stupid drifter and he gets a kill, or he lives and he gets a stack. You helped him. You turn the tables for him. Now, he's still going to be dumb, but at least dumb together, monkey strong, okay? So at least help them out, you know what I mean? Now, we got a little bit off topic of laning phase, but kind of the way the Yap sessions go. But back to laning phase, matchups. You should go, I think Metro has one, Vegas has one, everyone has one. I don't actually know, but I know one of those people have one. I think it's Metro. Go look on YouTube or Google or something at the end of this video and say, Ooga Booga, what are good lane matchups? And you'll see strong laners versus weak laners and figure out who the strong laners are. Like, for example, Apollo's a strong laner, Viper's a strong laner, Mina's a strong laner. And you also have to figure out why. Because, in my opinion, Viper's a terrible laner besides her 2. Because her 2, if you're under half health or just under, like, I think 30% HP, you just get executed. You just die. It's like 250 damage at like 5 minutes with like tier 2 Spirit Invest. It's insane. Apollo's insane because once you get like 2 points into his 3, he does all of your health bar in 1 attack and he executes you under half health. Mina's a really good laner because she's unkillable because she heals so much and she does a ton of burst damage. So just understanding what characters are really strong laning and why they're strong, because a lot of people, especially when I first started, sometimes I'd be laning with people and they're saying, oh, we're giving up too much space. We're giving up too much space. Meanwhile, I'm like, what character was I back then? I don't remember. I was some bad laner. And we were laning against Apollo, I think, Abrams, before Abrams got nerfed too. Apollo Abrams, I was not leaving tower. Are you kidding me? And we were mid lane? No. Good thing is mid lane made it a little bit easier because I could walk out sometimes because I wasn't too afraid of getting pinned if I positioned correctly. But you must be insane. I'm not leaving tower. They will kill me 100% of the time. Why am I leaving? Now, I mentioned a little bit about running boxes and stuff like that and the timer for minion waves. The other timers you should know is 2 minutes is when boxes spawn and your first tier 1 camp spawns, which is on the map, that little guy, the 3 little guys in one room. Hopefully hopefully you're not watching this video, you don't know what a tier 1 is, because I gotta make like a super beginner video for that. But yeah, some of the stuff I'm talking about, hopefully you guys understand what I mean. But a tier 1 camp spawns then, and all your boxes. So from that point on, at 2 minutes is when you basically never stay in lane after killing minions ever again. You kill minions, you run boxes. You kill minions, you run a camp, over and over and over again. The other 2 timers you need to know are 5 minutes and 8 minutes. At 5 minutes, bridge buff spawns, which is these little buffs on a bridge to the side of you. If you're mid lane, it's on left and right of you. If you're on left lane, it's to the right of you. And if you're on right lane, it's to the left of you. And these buffs spawn every single 5 minutes, and they're pretty strong buffs, so you want to try to get them off cooldown if you can. It'll also give you a free advantage in lane. And then at 8 minutes is sinners, these little vending machines that you punch. You want to punch them until all the lights at the very top disappear, and then there'll be a light that starts charging up. On the 3rd light from the end, so there's only 2 lights left before it fully lights up, you want to charge a heavy punch and punch it, and you'll get perma buffs from it. Sinners are extremely helpful. They give more souls than everything in the game except for wave, so they want to be a very high priority of yours. And stealing them from the enemy is a very high priority as well, but you don't want to die for it. So sometimes what I'll do is, if I want to get the perma buff from an enemies that I'm stealing, but I don't have time to actually charge up the punch, just light meleeing it and breaking it, or light meleeing it when the lights light up. You get less buffs, but you deny it from the enemy. But it all depends, because some characters have spikes at different times. And your spike is basically, you'll learn it from playing the character, but your spike can be, oh, I got my 3rd point into this ability or whatever. You need to learn when your character gets strong, because some characters don't get strong until mid-game. Some characters get strong really quickly. For example, for me with Viper, I'd get strong the second I put my 2nd point into my 2. For me, that was a point where, yep, I'm running it down. I got extra spirit, I got that, I'm running it down as much as possible. I'm going to kill these people. But if you're a different character, you might want to wait. Like for example, with Apollo, I try to max out my 3 before I really start going for any crazy kills, or I wait for my ultimate. Besides that, I'm just poking, doing a little bit of damage, and leaving. So learn when your character gets strong too. And speaking of getting strong, please, if you get fed, there's a 100% chance the randoms in your game are going to throw. So if you get fed, rotate, rotate, rotate. Doesn't matter what character you are, rotate if you get fed in lane. Because, or just in general, if you just get fed in general, please rotate and kill people. Now don't throw your lead. Don't go for like crazy inting kills like, oh, I gotta go in Guardian, I gotta go in Walker, I gotta go do this, I gotta do that. Play with a brain, right? But take healthy team fights with your losing lanes just to set everyone else ahead. Because if you get 2 kills in mid lane after mid lane lost, you could help mid lane win. So you want to try and do that. And what if you lose lane? If you lose lane, and speaking of losing lane, a lot of people don't realize, let them take the Guardian. Stop dying for Guardian, or stop dying to kill their Guardian. The Guardian is like 500 souls. It's not that deep. Let them have it. There's no point in you dying and missing 1,000 souls worth of minions because you get put on a long timer. It just doesn't make any sense. They probably were going to get it regardless of you defending it or not. So leave. And also, as a tip for defending it, while you're defending it, shoot minions, use cover, kill the healing minion, and just weave in and out trying to kill the minions while they're in there. Don't really shoot them as much because shooting them is not going to help you. You want to kill the minions so that the Guardian attacks them and to pressure them out. Also, if you didn't know, you can parry Guardian. So if you are rushing the enemy's Guardian, run in, dash, jump past the Guardian, and then parry while you're going past it, and it'll melee you. One mistake I'll see is if the melee troops, like your little melee troopers, if they walk up and get meleeed by the Guardian's gonna melee on a different timer than normal, which means you're gonna go in there, try to parry him, and then he's gonna melee you 10 seconds after your parry, and then you're gonna die. So just be careful of that, be aware of that. If he hasn't meleeed in a while and he's using his little laser beam to kill stuff, then you're fine. If he's not, run. Just don't even go in there because you're just gonna die. And for the last thing for laning phase, holding tab. Please hold tab, and this goes for the whole game. Please hold tab, because if you hold tab, you can see what items the enemy team has. You can see what souls they're at. You can see everything, right? You can see how strong they are compared to you. You can see how many stacks they have. Let's say it's a Bebop bomb. You can see how many stacks he has on bomb. There's so much information you get from holding tab, even how many points he has invested into each skill, so you know when your enemies hit their damage spike and when to avoid them. Now, before we go to mid-game, I'm going to talk a little bit about aim. If you don't know, I've been coaching aim for a while now. It's actually my specialty. I love coaching aim. And a lot of people, I hear a lot of different things about aim in this game. I actually just got a comment the other day. Forgot to respond, but it was, yeah, bro, this is the wrong game for aim. There are only like a few characters that aim matters on. I completely disagree. And then someone also said, oh, well, actually, bullet travel time. Bullet travel time argument makes me so angry in this game. I think about bullet travel time? Never. The only time I think about it is when I'm shooting someone off zip. Besides that, I never think about it. I just don't understand why everyone brings up bullet travel time. First of all, opening rounds now builds from high velocity rounds, which means everyone should be building basically a hit scan character from now on, because opening rounds is an amazing item. So not only that, right, but most of your fights are in a range where you should be shooting right at the enemy, not leading your shots for the most part. Like, there are few characters like Paige, for example. Oh no, Paige. Like, Paige, fine, yeah, you gotta lead your shots. Every other character in this game is pretty much hit scan. It's like, what are we talking about? So if someone's told you, oh, well, this game's not hit scan, so it's hard to aim, or aim doesn't matter, tell them they're an idiot for me. Thank you. There is some nuance to it, but the nuance doesn't matter at all. Tell them they're an idiot. But besides that, aim is extremely helpful for every single game. That's also why I like teaching it, because my aim can be amazing in this game, and I can transfer it over to every single game I play, and it just gives me a free advantage. And aim specifically in this game, the balancing for this game is a little for gun characters. Even now, it's still because if you have good aim, the characters aren't balanced around hitting good shots, right? Last time I checked, I have around 70% accuracy. I think it's 65, 70. And because of that, also, I'm pretty sure that weighs in minions, but still, even on characters, I still have pretty good accuracy. But because of that, everyone I fight, I shred, especially on characters like Hayes. I'm shredding people because the game isn't really balanced, in my opinion, around people who have really good aim. It's balanced around average aim and abilities. Obviously, because it's a MOBA too. A lot of MOBAs are mostly ability usage, skill shots with that, not really aiming. So if you ever just want a free advantage, please learn how to aim. You can learn from me, you can learn from my videos, and all the basics you really need to know about aim is you need to understand that aim is hand-eye coordination. A lot of people don't realize that it's as simple as that. It's you see where the enemy is, and you subconsciously move your mouse or your hand to where they are. And that's it. It's as simple as that. And you want to treat aim just like any other skill. A lot of people make jokes about gamers, for example, or have assumptions about gamers that, oh, well, you're fat, you're lazy, you're this, you're that, whatever. The thing is, if you care about your aim, if you care about your gameplay, if you care about your mental, you should be caring about things like, how often do I sleep? What's my hours of sleep? What's my water consumption? What is my average day look like, right? Some of the things that a lot of people are surprised to hear almost, I don't really know why. It's like, I thought it's common sense. But guys, do not, for example, wake up, get straight on your phone. Wake up, get straight on the game. Go outside, get some sunlight, move a little bit, breathe, do something. Drink water right away in the morning, because after sleeping, you're extremely dehydrated from the night before. Get 8 hours of sleep. Did you know that the difference between water consumption and also a poor night's sleep versus the difference between a 20-year-old and a 60-year-old, the water and sleep consumption is a much bigger difference. I think the difference is only like, what, 50 milliseconds? I used to have the exact study pulled up when I used to do these videos, but I don't remember the study anymore. But it was not that big. The difference between a 20-year-old's reaction time and a 60-year-old's was 50 milliseconds, 40 milliseconds, something small. It wasn't that big. But the difference between someone who got a poor night's sleep, like 6 hours, 5 hours, versus 8 was up to 100 sometimes. It's insane. And a lot of people completely neglect the health aspect of gaming. So please, if you're serious about improving at a game or just even improving your life, sleep properly, drink a lot of water, and just in general, take care of yourself. And practicing, when you practice a lot, rest days become a lot more important than the practice days, because your body learns when you're sleeping, when you're taking off, when you're not doing the thing that you're trying to improve at. So you need to take those days to actually improve, because a lot of people just keep grinding, and they never take a day off or never take a breather. And they're like, why have I plateaued? Why is my skills not improving? Or why was I improving? Why did I stop? So just make sure you take some time for yourself and take some time to, improve. Anyways, I won't yap your ear off with aim too much. I have a full aim video already on my channel. Also, if you've already made it this far, I mentioned earlier about how I did VOD reviews. If you want your own VOD reviews from me, or if you just want to see some of my old ones, you can click the top link in the description to join my lock-in tier to get access to my aim routine, my VOD reviews, and to get VOD reviews from me. Anyways, let's talk about mid-game now. For mid-game, a lot of people don't realize that one good fight is the complete difference between win and lose. There's so many times where, and honestly, hopefully they actually change this, because it's honestly kind of bad. But mid-boss, you get mid-boss one time in this game and you've pretty much won. Or one good mid-boss steal and you've pretty much won. Because you just run it straight down mid, or you run it down whatever lane you want, and the enemy who already clearly struggles to kill you because you just wiped them enough to get mid-boss, now they have to kill you 3 more times. So hopefully they add more objectives and alter the objectives a little bit. But one mid-boss fight or one good mid-boss steal is the end of the game for a lot of people. Or if you lose from mid-boss, maybe they half your patron and then you get mid-boss somehow after, then you completely win off of that. So try not to give up too early. Now, for mid-game, a lot of people make the big mistake of not pushing lanes. If you've played in a lobby below Oracle, you know that your job has somehow become, guys, green lane, guys, yellow lane, guys, can we please stay in a lane? Guys, please go back to blue. Guys, I was just in blue. Why are we losing Walker to minions? Team, please, oh my God. Oh my, please, guys, I'm not supposed to be getting all 3 waves by myself, team. That's pretty much what the game's like. So if you've noticed that, or if you're the one who does it, please, before you ever push, before you do anything, kill the wave that's in front of you and kill the next wave, then leave. Unless obviously there's something super urgent you have to do, then just kill one wave. But if you can, kill the wave that's in front of you and the one that's coming, or at least just shoot it down. If you at least shoot down the wave farther ahead, then you get a lot more time as long as there's not an enemy in the lane. But before every rotation, before every mid-boss, before everything, push out the wave you're in, then leave. Because if you don't, you're going to throw. You're going to lose objectives just to minions. And in the current meta we're in, and it might change obviously by the time you guys watch this video, but right now, Trophy Collector is amazing. You should just be buying Trophy Collector and fighting with people. Because if you do, just the extra souls that you get from Trophy Collector, also Trophy Collector's pretty nice for the extra range, but just the extra souls you get will make it so that you're always ahead of the enemy team, assuming all things are equal. If you guys get the same amount of camps, same amount of everything, but you have Trophy Collector and you get 10 stacks, you're always going to be ahead of that person's souls pretty much. So just looking for those opportunities, rotating after killing wave, looking for a fight, going back to your wave, and obviously grabbing boxes, getting camps, whatever, while you do those rotations. And actually, I was playing with a buddy of mine and he does this mistake a lot. When you're in mid game, that's when I see a lot of people crumble under a few mistakes. If you die in mid game, or let's say you're Moan Krill, because he was Moan Krill in these games. If you're Moan Krill, your job after dying twice, 3 times, whatever, is either glue yourself to someone on your team who's strong, or chill for a second, play safe, and go for lane, go for camps, go for whatever, go for boxes, and just chill for a second, right? A lot of people will get into this cycle of, okay, I'm gonna go kill this guy. Ah, shucks, I died. Okay, you know what? Maybe it was just a bad fight. Let me take this one instead. Oh, I died again. Okay, now I'm 3,000 souls behind. All right, fine, I'm gonna farm. Oh, you know what? Let me push up farm and let me try to reset this other wave. Then they walk up too far and they reset a wave that was on the enemy team side of the map, and then they die. Then they're like, okay, now I just don't know what to do. And then by that point, their mental's fried and they've given up, and now they're so far behind in souls that it doesn't matter what they do. They'd have to kill half the enemy team to even catch up. And then by that point, they're pretty much useless the rest of the game, especially on a character like Moan Krill, because your job on Moan Krill is ooga booga, me run at you, me ult. But if you get blown up before you even get to ult, you're useless. And you really shouldn't be stealing farm from, let's say, your hyper carry. So it's not like you can just go glue yourself to jungle the whole game. So at that point, it's over. So you need to try to either buddy up with someone who's strong or learn how to farm safely. And something I didn't mention earlier, which I should have, sorry about that, but hopefully you're watching the whole video. When you're running box routes, think of circles. Everyone overcomplicates box routes and they watch specific videos for it and then they forget the route by the time they actually get in the real game. Just think about making a circle. You go into jungle, you somehow loop back to your zip line, and then you zip line back to lane, right? And that's it. So when you're in laning phase or when you're in early game, you want to think about running circles with your box routes. You grab this box, grab that box, you rotate in. Another thing is, a lot of people don't realize it's usually 1 or 2 people on the enemy team that's doing everything. Most games, obviously there are some games that are just lost games and some games that are just won games, but a lot of games it's usually 1 or 2 people that are doing everything. So if you buy Curse or Phantom Strike, or obviously like the Mo example we gave, if you just Mo ult them, just hard targeting the strong players, especially because a lot of the strong players, they get overconfident. They're like, you know what? I've won every single fight I've done now. Let me just go do a 1v17 fight, you know? And then they die for free. They will get cocky. They will get overzealous, right? So make sure you're looking for that opportunity. Also, speaking of looking for that opportunity, please IGL your games. You're going to turn on your mic and someone's going to call you an idiot and then every other like slur in the book. But it's okay, right? It's part of the game. But try to IGL. Just try to also, by the way, if you don't know what IGL is, it's in-game leader. Just telling people what to do, how to do, when to do. All right, guys, good picks. Let's go for mid-boss. Or can we push out all the waves? Or, hey, Drifter, since you're there, could you go reset this wave? Or just little stuff like that. Because a lot of people are not going to be paying attention to the map as much as you are. So you want to be the one to tell them, do this, do that. You'll just, even if you're just reminding people, because they might not see what you see, and you can help them out. And it just makes it so much easier to climb and play. And please, buy Spirit Resist, any kind of Spirit Resist items. It's like, you have no idea how many games I see against like a full Spirit Nuker team, and no one has any Spirit Resist. Not even like Dispel Magic for like 10%. Buy anything, please. Most characters in this game are Spirit, and they do a lot of Spirit damage. And like we talked about in the aim section, most people have bad aim. So even if you buy, like even if they have gun characters, unless they're ulting, most of the time you don't even need gun damage protection. So please, buy Spirit Resist. And I still need to make a guide for building, but if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe. Now, for mid-game objectives, there are Walkers, Guardian, the Urn, and the mid-boss. For Walkers and Guardians don't matter at all, like we talked about earlier. And as you get stronger in the game, you do more damage to objectives because objectives actually spawn with innate defense. So if you're, let's say, 1 minute in, 2 minutes in, 3 minutes in, 5 minutes in, and you get inside their Guardian, you don't actually need to shoot it or try to do damage to it. Just leave, because the amount of damage you do is so marginal compared to if you wait 5 more minutes, right? So especially for Guardians, you can just backdoor them later on when you're strong enough. So don't stress too much about it. Obviously, you want to win lane, you want to get the Guardian, you want to get that advantage. But if you can't, don't stress it. Also, when it comes to objectives, in laning phase, if you lose Guardian or the enemy loses Guardian, make sure you call that they're probably going to rotate. Once a Guardian gets taken on either side, the 4 people in that lane probably will start rotating. So you want to call for your team, yeah guys, I lost lane, so they might start rotating, be careful. And for Walkers are extremely valuable, but you want to be careful with the way you get them. Some people will run it down when we have no vision on enemies, we have no clue where anyone is. For the most part in the game, you do not want to walk past the midpoint of the map ever unless you have vision on enemies. Because if you don't have vision on enemies, you're going to get ganked and you're going to feel like, well, what did I do wrong? I was just pushing the wave, and then you're going to die over and over again. So just thinking about, I have no clue where the enemy team is. I don't know what they're doing. Let me wait to push up. Let me go do something on my side of the map instead. Now, of course, on your side of the map, they might still invade. They might still kill you, but it's a much lower chance. And then let's say the enemy team is running Urn and the Urn is on the opposite lane from you. Push up Walker, right? Because there's going to be guaranteed people there at the Urn fight. Versus if the Urn's coming to your side of the map, push up lane to where the Urn is going, but don't go farther than that. Because if you do go farther than that, chances are there's going to be a whole bunch of enemies waiting for you because they're waiting to defend the Urn. And past around 20 something minutes, try not to die for the Walker. It's not worth it because you go on 60-second timers, and one death for Walker, especially if you don't get it, can turn into losing the game. So just be careful with it. And speaking of Urn, for Urn, what you should be doing is, first of all, picking it up every single chance it spawns. You should almost always pick up the Urn and either try to run it or just trying to deny it from the enemy team. And this is also where IGLing comes in, because you want to be able to tell your teammates, all right, let's have 3 people at Urn, or let's have 2 people split pushing or something, right? Because the Urn can also be a great distraction. You want to run the Urn sometimes and run it to a safe area on your side of the map where all the enemies come running, trying to defend it. And then you have, let's say, a Wraith in the opposite lane from the Urn, solo pushing, trying to kill the Walker. That means the enemy has to divert some resources, right? We might be a little weaker, but it doesn't matter as much because our goal isn't trying to dunk the Urn. Our goal might have been actually trying to get the Walker and bait the Urn instead. And finally, for mid-boss. Mid-boss is the biggest decider and biggest difference from lower rank to higher rank. A lot of people in lower rank do not know how to end the game. When I first started playing, my games would be 50 minutes each. Now I don't think I get a single game over like 35. Every single one of my games are usually done before 40. But it's because after we get, let's say, 3 kills and our waves are pushed out, we instantly get mid-boss. And then we go push an objective we want and usually push into their spawn and play somewhat safe where we're not actually wasting the rejuve, but we're trying to get kills here and there and try to get a bigger and bigger advantage because enemies will overfight or overpush when we're stronger than them. So the general rule for mid-boss is, like I said, at least 3 kills and try to be careful of what ults they have. Let's say Dynamo ult. Even if you have 3 kills and they have a Dynamo ult, you need to have someone looking, trying to shut down the Dynamo instead of just running straight forward because, well, Coach Shoddy said 3 kills. We got 3 kills, team. Let's go. You also have to judge how much damage you have on your team too. Let's say you have a Viper Wraith. Mid-boss is an insta kill. You could do it with 1 kill and still get it before the enemy team has a chance to react. But but it all depends. You can also bait mid-boss for forcing fights, but I wouldn't try to do this until you're at least Ascendant. I've seen no one ever do it correctly, ever. It's so easy to mess up and so easy to just give the enemy team a huge advantage for no good reason. So honestly, just forget about baiting it. And when you kill it, the crystal that comes down, that crystal, the first person who hits it, who heavy punches it, heals to full health. So if you have someone who's low on your team and you don't really need to like rush as fast, right? It's not like, oh my God, they're coming, get the rejuve quick. If you don't need to do that, have the person who's lowest health punch it first so they can heal up. Also, if you can't be the one to do it, ask someone else to parry for you guys when you go to melee the crystal, so someone doesn't steal it while you guys are grabbing it. And don't have every single person play in the pit. Some people should be playing outside the pit, watching or waiting or standing in the veil trying to see, are the enemies here or are the enemies there? Is anyone coming to dive? Whatever, and making calls for it. One thing I like about Geist actually is during mid-boss, what I'll do is I'll just ult whoever is nearby. So I silence all of them so that even if they have Apollo ult or Dynamo ult or something, all of them get silenced and we just get it for free. Now, before we go any farther in the video, I think this is a good time to have the middle of the app. If you guys are new here, this is the part of the video where I usually talk to the audience. And if you want to skip it, I always leave timestamps. It's actually been a while. I haven't done this in, the last 10 videos? I don't think I've done it even for a Deadlock video. Might have done it for 1 or 2. But the usual, we'll start with, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for the support. It's been pretty good. Life's been pretty all right. If you guys aren't caught up with shoddy lore, I had to move out of my Nana's house because she passed away, and then I had to do this and do that and all these videos and a whole bunch of stuff. Life's been hectic, but this is the first year in the last 2 that's been all right, you know? So life's been okay. Been trying to do more videos. And if you are one of my viewers that came from Marvel too, or Valorant, oh my God, I love you guys so much, especially because it's like, I was so afraid to switch to Deadlock because the thing about this channel is I make content that I would like, right? I don't like watching videos most of the time. I like turning something on while I play a game. I was actually playing this like hotel simulator game. It was so much fun, but I like playing games and listening to a video, not really watching. And I try to make content for that, but I also am good at most games I play. So I don't want to stick to one game. I want to play everything. And I was afraid with this channel that I wouldn't be able to switch games once I had had my big hit with Rivals. But hopefully this video does well and I get another nice, like, you know, semi big hit and I get somewhere with this Deadlock videos, you know? But the videos aren't getting bad views. It's just not great, but it's better than I expected. So I'm very glad about that. So thank you guys so much. Also, if you want to support me, feel free to leave a comment down below, a thumbs up, you know, subscribe, any of that, or join my lock-in tier. I've been working a lot more on trying to make that a lot more valuable for people, a lot more offered with it, you know? Anyways, I love you guys so much. Thank you for everything. Let's get back to the video. Now, for building, there isn't a lot I want to talk about on building, except for, oh my God, please, everyone in this game, stop auto buying and just go into your spawn or whatever, hit the buy button, and then read every single item. That's all I want you to do. Just read every item, because just reading every item will make it so much easier to play this game because you'll understand what everything does. It'll make a little more sense. You'll be reading and say, wow, this would be so great on this character that I played or whatever. And it'll make so much more sense to you why you build what you build or why builds have this or builds have that. I also despise vast majority of top builds in this game. Most of the top builds miss out on certain items I think they should build, or even the build order that they have is bad in my opinion. So instead of using top builds, what I usually do is on Stat Locker, and they actually, after I made a video about this, they changed some of the stuff in Stat Locker. It's so much better. You can go to Stat Locker and you can go to your character and you can choose the top items. It'll show you a graph. You can show the top items that people build on your character and you can sort it by rank and everything. And what I do is I set a lower limit of only show me items that are bought over 500 times or 700 times or whatever. And then I'll sort it by time and I'll see what people buy when and how much it contributes to win rate. Now people will talk about, oh, well, win rate isn't as accurate. Stat Locker does this thing where they have, I don't know, they have some paper published about their special method of determining win rate so that defense items that are usually bought when someone's losing aren't treated unfairly. Which, by the way, if you're buying defense items when you're losing, most most of the time you shouldn't buy defense when you're losing because the people that you're buying defense against are just so much stronger than you, it doesn't matter. So try to buy damage items when you're losing. Try to kill that person. Try to tip the scale a little bit because a lot of people buy defense when they're losing, but it's not going to change the guy who does 7,000 damage to you in 2 seconds, right? So you want to try to do 3,000 to him before he does 7,000 to you. You know what I mean? Because how quick you pop might change by 2 seconds with a tier 3 item for defense. But I create my own build thinking about when you hit your 4.8 spike with each item, which if you don't know, if you hover over each item in the bottom left of your screen when you're in your buy menu, it shows a little graph and it shows you how much buffs you get from each investment. So when you spend 4,800 souls on each item type, you get a big buff, and it's usually, that's what people call your spikes. It's your investment spike. This is also usually a good indicator of when you start fighting. If you hit, let's say, your spirit spike and someone else didn't, you want to go fight them. And you want to try and hit your spikes earlier on to the game rather than later. Also, speaking of build guides, a buddy of mine, please don't tell him about this. Don't tell him I mentioned him in this video, and don't comment anything about me, please. But a buddy of mine just made a build guides video. I'm gonna leave his video in the description. He's a new channel. He only has around 200 subs, but he's getting better and better making videos. I've been trying to teach him, trying to help him make videos. So it'd be beautiful if you guys could go show him some support or let him know what he can improve on, or just in general if you like his video. He talks about investment spikes. He talks about building different items, stuff like that. So go show him some love if you guys can. Anyways, late game. Late game, honestly, not much to talk about. Late game is when the game gets kind of bad. It's just, we all sit here, look at each other, don't push up too far, and decide, when are we fighting? Who are we fighting? So late game just becomes taking good fights, because one loss in late game becomes a 60-second timer, and that's it. They get mid-boss, you guys lose the game. So what you want to do is take favorable fights, whether that be we outnumber them, or we have a lash, so we try to get them to fight out in the open so we can lash them, or we have a Lash Dynamo, which, by the way, please, Yoshi, do not allow Lash and Dynamo to be on the same team. That's just not fair. It's just genuinely nothing you can do about it. You can buy Unstop and still lose the entire game just from them hitting 4. So please don't let that be a thing. But whatever combos you have, whatever opportunities you have, using that to give yourself a good fight, and then getting maybe 1 or 2 picks, and then outnumbering the enemy team and just winning. On top of that, not pushing too far. A lot of people will push up too far or not push up far enough during late game fights, and it'll either get you picked or get your teammates picked. So just a lot of it is all fight hygiene, learning how to fight properly. The other thing is the patron. When you kill the big guy in the center, whenever you're in the enemy's base, once you get it to half, all of the enemy's timers get cut in half. So let's say someone's at 60-second timer, they drop down to like a 35-second timer. So that means that if someone was at, let's say, a 30-second timer, they're going to be respawning by the time you guys get it half and by the time the new version spawns. So you don't want to stay there after you get it half if their timers are too close. That's why you'll see in ranked games a lot of the time, or just regular games, I guess, people will get the patron half and leave. Now, you could also get patron half and then play kind of close, play cover, hide a little bit, and get them to push up, because a lot of people will push too far after an enemy team halves it. They'll think, they left, we're fine. When you don't leave, you jump that person, and then you guys have numbers advantage again, and then you just win, and just snowball the win. And for the last thing in this video, best characters to climb on. Now, this is going to change over time and obviously as the game updates and all that, but I think a few characters I don't think it'll ever change on is Geist, Kelvin, Mo and Krill, and Wraith. The reason why I say these characters is they have such specific things that make them so powerful. Geist, for example, she can heal so much and she can stay in a fight for so long that you guarantee to take someone else to 30% HP because you ult them. You heal up so much, you force people to buy items that they normally wouldn't, like anti-heal really early on to the game, causing them to be overall weaker than they would have been. And you just do a lot of damage. You're kind of a raid boss. Kelvin's another good one, because if you've ever seen a good Kelvin, which honestly, a buddy of mine, he plays Kelvin. I don't think many people on leaderboard, on public matches, play Kelvin good enough, because he actually has top damage, top healing, top distance covered in the game every single game. He's able to rotate so quickly with his 2, slow everyone down, and get so much utility by just slowing them, removing their stamina with his 1 and his 3, and then just ulting and guaranteeing either protecting an objective, killing someone, singling someone out, or just saving our team from ultimates. He's just such a powerful character that has so much impact for so free. And Moment Krill and Wraith have the same reason why I think they're so powerful, which is Ooga Booga, me click 4, you die, free pick, we win. Because remember I talked about late game, a lot of it is just getting that one pick, or how I said there's usually 1 or 2 players that are really strong, ulting those characters and just taking them out of the game. Both of those characters basically have a guaranteed you die now button. And with a you died now button, it makes matchmaking so much easier. Makes it so much easier to just climb because you don't have to worry about, team, can we not do this stupid thing? Please, team. Team, we need a pick, team. No, team, we can't go 6v6. I don't want a 6v6 team. I want a pick, you know? And if you feel like you learned anything from this video, or if you just feel like you're stuck and you need some help improving, check out my top link in the description, join my lock-in tier, and you can get VOD reviews from me, unlimited Q&A, and if you don't want to, you can learn plenty more from my videos, so check out this video right here. I love you guys. Have a good one. God bless you. And I cannot believe you've stayed this long. This was one crazy recording, guy. This is, what, an hour and 8 minutes in. Peace.